Alright, welcome back to Jay Creates. Today we're going to do something a little bit different on the channel. We're going to take my hobby of 3D printing and combine it with my woodworking. And we're going to make a desktop pen and pencil holder for your shop, your home office, your regular office, or whatever you want to do with it. And we're going to do it right now. Alright, so what are we going to do with this project? So this is going to be a 2x4 series project. I'll put a link here to the playlist on those, maybe a link down below as well. We're going to take this 2x4, and you don't have to use 2x4, you can use whatever wood you want to use to make this. This is just going to be a quick, easy 2x4 project. So we're taking this concept here of a desktop pen and pencil holder that's 3D printed, and we're just going to take the guts of this. Right, so here are the guts here. So printed two pieces, and they have different configurations. But anyway, I'll put a link in the description below to this model on Bamboo Labs website. It's Maker's World or something. So it's just a little box. You can put post-it notes, paper clips, binder clips, or whatever in here. Then you got 3 rows of cylinders here. So you got 3 larger ones and then, what is it, 8 smaller ones. So you put your pen and pencils in here, maybe put some Sharpies in here. So anyway, I thought it'd be kind of cool to make a wooden box for that and just kind of, you know, use it in the shop or home office or whatever. This one's a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be. I was trying to work the measurements. The 3D printing stuff is all in millimeters, so it's odd sizes, and you got 1/16 of an inch and all this stuff. So I think I got the measurements down right, but the first thing we need to do is to take our 2x4, get it milled up. We're gonna resaw it to 3/8 of an inch thick, and then we're going to cut it up to the sizes we need. And I'll put the sizes on the side here as we go. The first thing we're going to do is get this milled up, and let's go from there. Now that we got our wood milled up, so here's this is the 3-inch piece. So we got a couple different sizes going on here. So the bottom needs to be 3 inches. This is like 3 1/16, that's fine. And then all the other ones, the sides and the front and back panels are, looks like 2 5/8 of an inch. That's what I wrote down. Well, I mean, that's the width anyway. So we got this milled up. So we need to, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut, well, not the first thing. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our 2 front panels. So these guys, front and back, and then our 2 side panels. And once we have those cut, we'll do a test fit on top of the 3-inch wide board, and then we'll determine exactly how long the bottom piece needs to be. We're not doing anything fancy here. We're just doing simple butt joints. This is a basic 2x4 project, beginner, intermediate, or hobbyist kind of project. I think sometime in the future I might get some nice hardwood, print another one of those inserts, and make something a little cooler, maybe with miter corners and splines or something, but that might be a couple months from now. But anyway, let's get these measured out. I think I got the measurements the way I want them. It's going to be a little bit shorter than this. I'm looking at 5 5/8 for the front and back panels. And for the sides, I'm looking at like 3 1/16 in length. So let's go over to the miter saw and we'll get those cut up. All right, so here's our 2 at 3 1/16 or whatever it was. And then we have our 2 front and back at 5 5/8. So I am going to test fit this with the insert and hope that I got the length right. That looks good. So I got the length correct. It might hang just a little bit, but I'm gonna leave it because I'm gonna sand it anyway, so I can sand off that little bit of a hangover there. But anyway, now we know that we have our length correct with our side panels and our front and back panels. So I got it sitting on the 3-inch board that's going to be the base, the bottom. So with it sitting on the board, I'm just going to go ahead and trace where it stops, and that's where we're going to cut our piece here. So that's going to end up being right about 6 7/16, so just under 6.5. Let me get this cut and I'll be right back. All right, so there's our bottom piece, front, back, side to side, and our insert. Now, I'm not going to sand any of this before I assemble it. So once it's assembled, the glue is dry, I'm going to go ahead and sand it all around the outside, make it all look good. I'll round over the edges, take the sharp corners off, but the inside I'm not going to worry about sanding that. Anyway, let's prepare for assembly. For assembly, I believe the best way, and I could be wrong and you guys may have better ways to do it, I'm going to leave the bottom aside here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the side panels and the front and back panels first. And then once that is assembled and dried up, I'm going to take it, I'm going to carry it over and glue it to the bottom. So I'm going to put some glue on here. Just put a little glue on the end grain. You might have to add a second dose of glue as well, because sometimes with end grain, it could just soak that glue right in and dry it up immediately. And then you have to put some more on to actually use to stick to the other piece of wood. And then we're just going to make sure they're flush. Maybe give it a little bit of a rub joint here. Same thing on this one. Inside or outside doesn't matter. All right, I'm just going to let that sit for a minute, and then we're going to do the other side. So I do have some clamps on standby over here. And let's see if the little Irwins will... Oh, yeah. That'll work. Yesterday, it was just like... On this one, it was just a little too long for the Irwins to work. And I had to bust out the big old clamps. So I'm going to put these on. Not super tight, just tight enough to have a look at it. I'm going to get the pieces where they need to be and then get them clamped up before the wood dries too much, or the glue dries too much. All right, so we got the clamps on. I'm going to let that sit for about 20 minutes or so, and then we'll come back and we'll do the bottom together. Let's take these clamps off. All right, so with the clamps off, we got some glue cleanup to do. Nothing major. The outside glue, I'll just sand it because I need to sand it anyway. I'll clean up what I can with the chisel, sand it. On the inside, I'll use the chisel to get the corners. I'm not going to do a full cleanup. I just want to clean the inside and the bottom where the base is going to go, so we don't have any dry, hard pieces of glue make it unlevel when I put this on. So we want a nice clean bottom so it looks good. All right, so let's get this bottom put on. I got all the glue cleaned up on the insides and the bottom section. I got rid of any hard, dried glue, so when it sits on here, it's not bubbling up anywhere. Again, I'm gonna stain. Probably just gonna end up staining this, so I will stain the inside and outside. But like I said, I'm not gonna pay too much attention to the sanding on the inside. But I will do the sanding on the outside, like I said, round over the edges, make it look good. Probably run it up to 220 just so it's nice and smooth. But anyway, we're going to take this glue here. We're going to put a bead of glue around the top. Well, in this case, the bottom. We're just going to set it on top. Make sure it's flush all the way around. And then I'm just going to, instead of using clamps, I'm just going to set something heavy on top of it and let it sit for a while. Glue it. All right, so we're just going to take this, put our bottom on the top. Put the bottom on the top, flush it up. So we got that set on there. I'm just going to take this stool that I made, set it on top. It should be enough weight to hold that down. We're going to let the glue dry. When it's dry, I'm going to sand it, and then we'll come back. All right, so I got it all sanded up, got the glue cleaned up, and it's ready for stain. I decided I am going to stain it. I just grabbed whatever stain was on the top here. Oh, I'll close my Ryobi lid. Let's see, red mahogany 225. I'm just using a foam brush to put it on. It's probably a little bit bigger than I need, but yeah, I'll start with the outside so you can see it. I'll try to zoom in here when I edit. That's pretty dark, huh? All right, let me get this done, and we'll come back when it's dried up enough for me to close out this project. That's pretty much it. It's not 100% dry, but it is dry enough for me to show you. All right, we took a 2x4, scrap 2x4. Doesn't have to be 2x4, it can be whatever you want it to be. We milled it down, resawed it to 3/8 of an inch, cut up the different size pieces that we needed for the sides, the front and back, and the bottom, glued it up, sanded it, put some stain on it, and now we get to put the insides in. So we're taking the 3D printed insides. You can put like 8, 11 pens, pencils, markers, or whatever. Maybe this fits Post-it notes, binder clips, paper clips, or whatever you want to put in here. Drop that in, and you're good to go. So again, this was based off of the 3D printed toolbox version here. It's got the same insides in it. These ones don't come out. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to print the insides and make my own box to go around it. So hopefully you guys like this video. It was a little bit of a different video combining the 3D printing and the woodworking, and I hope to do that a few more times in the future. But leave me a comment below. Let me know if you like this kind of video. Let me know if you got a 3D printer and how you incorporate that into your woodworking. Hit the thumbs up button, like this video, share this video, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you catch all my videos, even my little shorts videos. Thanks again. See you on the next one.